Josh, we're live.
Yes, got the notice.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Super excited to celebrate you and talk about your journey in the Thinking the Results program. Really just, we had a really good celebration last night. And I just thought it'd be really fun to build on that today and to really just acknowledge the transformation that is occurring within you and your business. And maybe, just share a little bit more about that so others can understand what we do here in this program. So before I do that, I really just want to invite you to say hello to everyone. Tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, what you're passionate about, and who you serve in your business.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Josh. I am the owner of my own law firm called Calderon Law. I'm Josh Calderon. And we are a corporate law firm and we serve business owners with their legal needs. And what I'm passionate about, super passionate about entrepreneurship. I love business. I love growth. I love helping business owners take it to the next level however I can, not just with their legal needs, but strategically opening my network up to them and growing together. I was born for business. I love it. And that's really what drives me every day.
Ooh, that's cool. I was born for business. I love that. I love that because it's always interesting when I meet attorneys and I'm like, what makes you decide whether you're going to go the firm route or you're going to go out, into private practice, right? So did you always know, or did you make that transition yourself?
I did not always know. It was the result of a lot of self-reflection, a lot of introspection, a lot of trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do with my career. And I did the firm route and it was great. I loved it. I could have, in an alternate universe, I stayed there forever. That was very real. So it wasn't some people are driven out because something happens at a firm, but it wasn't like that for me. I loved it there. But I just felt that my true calling was having my own business, having my own law firm. And I haven't looked back. It's been an amazing experience.
Oh, that's interesting. Because it really ties into what we do in this program, which is helping you design life on your terms, right? So what I'm hearing you say is that you knew deep inside that was the path for you. And, like most of us, a lot of us, I believe we all know deep inside what we really want, but we don't always know how to move towards it or how to crash through the fear to go get it. So, what was that like for you? How did you make that shift?
Introspection, listening to that voice. I love what you said, right? Like we all know, sometimes we hide it. The voice pops up like a flutter, like a little voice in the background whispering sometimes. And maybe it goes away for a while. We get busy with life. But if we listen, we really get in tune with ourselves, our body, our deep, like our heart of hearts, right? The deepest part of us. We hear that voice that there's something else out there. Think about that. And so it just reached a point where I felt like I was at a juncture that I was either going to pursue being part of a larger firm or going to pursue business. And I decided that I was willing to risk, quote unquote, risk my career in that setting to pursue my dream of running my own.
So you followed your internal guiding system, which is really cool because we all have one. We just don't always have the courage to follow it. Right?
100%.
Yeah. So you had already done that. And what led you here to doing this, to taking this next step, to doing this program?
It was feeling like I needed guidance. For a long time, one of my programs for a long time is doing it myself. It's just my nature, right? That I'm going to be that running through wall. I'm going to do it myself. I don't need anyone. I'm going to be the self-made man. Even in reality, no one's self-made. And I reached a point where I felt like I plateaued with how I could take it myself with my skill set. And I felt like I needed that external guidance. In our first phone call, I remember, I'll always remember, I said, I want to play bigger. I want to play bigger. I feel like I have more potential. I can have a bigger business. I can achieve more, but I feel like I'm not quite, I don't have the skill set on my own to get there. Are you that person? And it was a beautiful conversation. And here we are.
Yeah, I remember that. And you just like, you made it like, you just dove right in. Like, okay, I'm all in. Like, you know, we know that successful people make decisions easily, effortlessly, quickly, and they take inspired action. So yeah, so you were there and you knew you needed more mentorship, you needed more guidance. And I think that's like for all of us, right? We, you know, in order to get to the next level, we need that support from someone who's already gone there or knows how to help you get there. So, so that's so cool. So where were you where were you then and where are you now?
Then I was, but this was 6 months ago. It wasn't even
I
that
know
long
that
ago.
I was just to
I
say
know,
then
that's crazy.
was just, yeah, then was only like really only 6 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it feels like longer from a perspective of point A being then point B being now. It feels like I've evolved, I've grown so much. Then, so I'll tell you, then I was the classic um, employee mindset in entrepreneur's body. That's what I was,
Wow,
and
that's
I was shying away from being an entrepreneur and pushing my comfort zone and being the leader, the entrepreneur, the visionary that I need to be for. That's who I was.
wow.
And where I am now, more and more adopting the entrepreneur mindset. And that's the mindset of how do we build this business? Not who's doing the work, not is Josh doing the legal work, is how do I build this business? How do I provide the vision, the foundation, the structure, that it's not me delivering the legal work, that it is the system as a whole. What kind of systems do we need? What kind of people do we need to bring on? Focused on the strategy side. And already I've noticed, we talk about TIR and the impact. I had never achieved $100,000 a month. It was like a 6 figures, such a nice round number. I never achieved that. And I'm proud to say that I did achieve that. I ticked that box, and that was a great milestone. And now, having achieved that, my next goal is how do we get that consistently every single month so that it becomes like clockwork, 100K, 100K, 100K. Then we're going to move the bar so ever so steadily, right, up the value chain. So it's been great. I loved it. You know what I tell people, Cheryl? I tell people that could I have gotten there without coaching, guidance, the program? Yes, I could have. But did this accelerate my path? Did I get there a lot faster than I would have had I been left to my own devices? Equally, yes. So it just comes down to cost benefit. And I would rather invest in myself, save the time, get there faster, move on to the next level, than learn lessons that you already know, that you've already helped people with, right? You've already put people through transformations. Why am I going to reinvent the wheel when I can rely on your expertise and the expertise of the program?
That is so powerful because it's so true. Like, yes, you could have. It just might have taken, like, it might have taken you longer. And so, you know, the ROI is, you know, I mean, you got your ROI, you know, very, very quickly in this program, and you're going to continue to grow and evolve. And the more we invest in ourselves, we get back tenfold, really, right? So we're just able to make those quantum leaps easier, faster. And why wouldn't we want that? Why wouldn't we want that?
Life is short, right? Let's save the time and get to where we want to go faster.
So and you had your first 100K month, 3 months in the after 3 months in the program, halfway in the program, you hit it. But that wasn't the only thing going on for you. That that wasn't the
Yeah.
only thing going on for you.
Yeah.
So the money, I mean, we love the money and we love hearing the money stories. I mean, we always want to hear the money stories, right? Oh yeah, turn my annual income into my monthly income, 100K months, all of that stuff. But that's the byproduct of the happiness, right? So what else is going on? What else has happened?
The more important thing by far, rather than the 100K or any financial, my wife and I welcomed our second child to the world. It's been beautiful. Such a unique experience. It's my second time. I'm still in awe at everything. I'm not jaded or used to it. It's just been a great ride. And the excuses were there for me. They were available. I had perfect rationalizations about how I couldn't be committed father, husband, and a successful business owner. And it would have sounded good, right? I would have said to people, hey, I'm taking my business is taking a backseat while I focus on my family. And that sounds good. But I think maybe the first or second session with you in the group, it was like, why can't you do both? Why is that not possible? Where did this dichotomy that you have to choose? Why not be able to do both at the same time? And so I had to challenge imprints, patterns, paradigms that I had about this false belief that you have to choose, you have to focus on either business or family. And everything has a season, and it's either business or family, and you got to choose between the two. And it's not true. It's not true. I hit this record business month, and I feel more committed, more locked in, more focused, and a better father, husband, more present, more. I'd say I came into this with a business goal, right? I want to take my business to the next level. That's what I want to play bigger on the business stage. But the personal benefits, the benefits on the personal side I'd say are even bigger than the business, because it's helped me in so many different domains that I wasn't expecting. And it's been, it just, I feel calm, everything, my health, my family life, my spiritual side, everything has gotten the benefit through the program.
That's amazing. That's so beautiful. I know, like, I just remember like your very first month in the program. Okay, what's your goal, Josh? Okay, I want to have 100K month. Okay, what's the problem? Let's do it. Well, I got to do it like right now because I'm having a baby in May. Right? And I won't have time to do it in May, and that's all shifted. You had, those are, like you said, those imprints, those beliefs that we can't do both. I can't do this until I do that, or I can't have this until I have that. And it's not true. And I love the fact that you have more balance and you feel more grounded and you have more time and you have more energy. All the things you were telling yourself you don't have, they're not true. You do. You have it all. It's awesome. So cool. So a lot of people, are, thinking about doing this work. And we know the power of the work. We know what it's done for us. What do you want to say to those people that are thinking about doing this program?
I'd say if you feel like you're not living up to your potential, your talent, if you feel like there's a lack between what your reality could be, and we know this, right? We know deep down whether we're living up to certain standards that we have, whether our bodies are up to a certain standard, our business, our income, our families, our relationships, all that. We know when there's a discrepancy between where we want to be and where we are. And so I'd tell these people, I'm a big believer in the program. I'm not compensated at all to speak highly about the program. I only do it. I'm only speaking this way and here because I'm just giving my personal experience with it. And I would tell those people, come in, be all in, play full out, like you say. I love what you say, Shaw. You say well, if you've done things a certain way, but you've got this certain results. And if you want different results, you got to do something different because expecting your way to get you to different results doesn't make any sense. And so I'd say there's people, if you want different results, better results in whatever facet of your life you want to improve upon, I would give up my full recommendation of the program and making that investment in ourselves.
I love that. Yeah, it's true. Like you can't get different results with the same mind that created your existing results, right? You have to learn how to shift your thinking. You have to learn how to do things in a different way to support the goals and the outcomes and things that you desire. So that's just how it goes. Like if you keep hitting that glass ceiling, if you're sick and tired of doing the same thing over and over again and nothing's changing, it's because you need to change, right?
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
It's that it's hard sometimes to have conversations about our potential, where we want to go with our friends, our family, the people in our network. They might not be on the same frequency, or maybe they're too close to the situation, right? And there's a lot of embedded personal relationships there. And it's nice, it's refreshing being with a group of people who are similarly striving for things, not necessarily business goals. There's all sorts of people in the program, but we're all there together pursuing a higher version of us, the best version of us. So it's like what is that saying? Like the rising tide lifts all ships. And so it's the energy of the group where you feel comfortable sharing big goals, where you're not going to feel judged, where no one's going to say, oh, is that realistic? Is that too high? Are you too old to get there? Maybe your time has passed. Some of the things that we might hear in our day-to-day lives, we share it with certain people. So it's from that perspective, like the group accountability perspective and the group dynamic, it's been incredible I love people's wins as much as I love my own. I'm invested in their wins just as much as they're invested in mine. And I love that it's all focused on wins. It's all focused on results. And I love that we share these milestones together. Sometimes tears come out because there's a lot of stuff we got to go through to get to those wins. But it's such a beautiful place to be in a group where you feel that support and the place where you can be vulnerable and really push to be that higher version of ourselves.
Thank you for sharing that, because I was going to ask you what it's like to be in a community and a group going through this journey together, because I do think there's so much power in the group and that we can show each other where the work is for us. Sometimes we have to see it outside of ourselves to be able to see it inside of ourselves. And I know we've all experienced that in the group, and there's just so much power in the sharing and the support that everybody gives. And I remember you writing, in the group one day about just how this was your oasis. Like I think that's the word you use, oasis. Like, I just feel like, and from that moment on, you were all in. You've been on every call. You're doing the work. And you've just made a commitment to do another 6 months in the program. And so you are all locked in. You're locked in, right? You are just like, this is it. I'm in. Let's go. Quantum leaps. What else can we do? I'm ready.
Yeah, well, I've doubled my bet, Cheryl. Like I've the 6-month TIR in your new program for the business focus mastermind.
Right. You joined my mastermind program as well. That's
right. And I'm excited for that. So because I've been so impressed by where I've gone in the 6 months, I'm thinking, well, what can I be in another 6 months? Why don't I just double down and really see, okay, where can we take this thing? How far can the rocket ship go? So I am all in for another 6 months, and I might triple down Like 6 months.
I love it. How far can the rocket ship go? Where do you want the rocket ship to go? Because we're going to come back here in 6 months and we're going to celebrate that.
Yeah, I want the consistent 100K months. I want that to be not in the rear view, but like 50 miles a minute. I want that to be like, wow, I can't believe that was my goal. That's so cute. That was a cute goal. What are we working on now? 200K months, maybe a new business, maybe $1 million a month. That's exciting. That's interesting, right? That gets the juices going. So I want to be having that conversation, right? I want to be there. I want to be at the next level, and to be at a place where I look back on this in 6 months and be like, it was a necessary step in the journey, but that was so far. That feels so far. Just like 6 months ago feels far. I want this to feel far. And that's why I'm doubling down.
Awesome. I love it. Well, it is done. Your consistent 100K months await you. They are yours. All you have to do is allow it in. Welcome it in. You know what to do. You've learned that here. And we know it's done. And I cannot wait to celebrate that next milestone with you. And I really, I know there's so much more. I mean, I think you're just getting started. This is just the beginning. So cheers to the rocket ship. I'm on it with you. I'm all the way. Let's go. Let's do it. And I really appreciate you sharing your journey with us today, because I know that there is someone listening that is really resonating with this. And so, reach out if you want to hear more. We're here. We'd love to, support you in getting started on your rocket ship to freedom. Really, that's what it is, isn't it?
Love it.
Rocket ship to freedom. Okay. Josh, as always, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I'll see you soon.